Okay, this is about where I need to be. This music is oddly fitting. In fact, I don't want to be on the rock. I want to be in the grass. Alright. We're gonna have to listen. Well, I mean, but why could you not? Fine. I want to be in the grass, but I gotta wait. In fact, let's send up the drone just to find some initial targets. Oh, come on, drone. See, this is where it's unrealistic. As soon as the drone even hits this thing, it's like rotor blade damage, and then it fucking plummets to the ground and, you know, crashes and it's destroyed. Which is why when I was watching Savage Actual, they're a group of two former spec ops who are, you know, highly trained. They were watching some Breakpoint gameplay, and they do this with several games, is they'll like react to gameplay of it. They were watching Breakpoint gameplay, and they were throwing up the drone in some of this jungle stuff, and they said, "Yeah, I hate taking in drones because they just break the first time you use it. So it's better not. You're better off not even wasting time using it." So like it was kind of interesting that soldiers don't even like using drones because they break half the time. And also I saw this. I think it was a TikTok, but I saw it on Reddit. It was a former veteran. Well, not former veteran. It was a veteran of the Afghanistan war. Seem to have some boys here. Um, let's get the sync shot set up. And he was saying, "Hey, anti-vaxxers, you know how you think that there's trackers in your vaccines? Well, let me tell you, we had tracking devices on our soldiers and GPS units to find vehicles, and in the Afghanistan war, we still couldn't find ourselves, and half the time it didn't even work. So you think that they're gonna microtize tracking devices and then put it in you and think it'll still work? That ain't happening because they couldn't even track their own troops in combat, active combat." And he was saying that, you know, his company of soldiers almost murdered another company of soldiers of their own because they couldn't figure out who they were like miles away because they couldn't get the tracking devices to work. So it's kind of funny. You know, when some young barely 18 somebody from a college who's like more edgy than they are actually educated. They're educated. Um, you know, say, "You stupid conservatives." You know, it kind of bothers me a little, even though I do lean a little more liberal speaking. You know, besides the politics of it, I do find a little more respect for people who have served in the military who also share those same values, because at least they've dealt with some heavy shit in their lives. Where some of these people, you know, the most fight they'll ever have is swatting away to a fly while they're busy eating, you know, vegan, you know, non-GMO food truck tacos that cost like $25 and have like gold shavings in it that are made sure to say that it's, you know, organic gold shavings. You know, some of these people live fairly comfy lives, and then they spout just nonsense. But then when the same people spout that same nonsense, it's like, well, they actually served in the military, so at least they've been under actual combat, and not every soldier sees combat, of course, but, you know, a lot of them do. You know, I have far more respect for people who serve in the military than those who don't. Especially when the people who don't serve in the military, you know, basically treat veterans like they're, you know, pedophiles. like some of the worst people in the world. They're being treated like. It's like that scene from A Few Good Men. You rise and sleep under the very blanket of freedom that I provide, and then question the manner in which I provide it. So, this is the most patriotic I'll ever get, is when it comes to our troops. Otherwise, our country can suck it. Anyways, that's it. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. I don't know what building I need to get into. I want to say it's the far building. So let's get back in these hills. Alright, let me crawl. Crawling in my crawl. And yes, people should vaccinate. I am by no means criticizing liberals for yelling at anti-vaxxers. Because anti-vaxxers can also suck my ass. But some of these liberals, it's like, shut up. Just shut up. It's like, we already know that we need to do better. Just shut up. Is it a hog down there? And like I said, I'm more liberal leaning, but I'm left leaning right. Which, you know, if you're in the middle, it's like, oh, you're bad. You know, if you're in the middle, the right is like, oh, you're just a soy-sucking liberal, libtard or whatever. No, I just think people should be treated with dignity. Well, then you're just a libtard. Okay, then. And then if I try to have some sort of rational conversation where I'm trying to use more logic with the left-leaning people, they're like, oh, you're just a white supremacist, Nazi, you know, misogynist. It's like, what does this even have to do with anything? I'm just trying to have a head on my shoulders, and I'm by no means intelligent, and I can be irrational at times, but fuck. Can people just calm down? Can we just have a nice day? You know, I don't smoke pot. Can we just smoke some pot and have pizza? Get together and play video games instead of arguing with each other constantly? Holy fuck. Oh, I'm bugged. I'm no longer bugged. It's the exact reason I got off Twitter. And I would say that people are getting brave on the internet, but actually they'll just do it in real life too. Hey, Oliver, welcome in. They'll just be complete shitty people to each other in real life. I mean, we've seen it. Since our lovely media companies think they gotta air every little thing. And what gets more clicks? Not peace. Certainly not. Peace doesn't get clicks. A lot of hate gets clicks. Which is why people complaining about video games and all that, me, myself included, on the internet tends to get more views. That's the problem with arguing with those kind of people. If you're against something, they're like, well, like, you must vote for the other party, even without knowing if you're from that country. Yeah. And I love it. I fucking love it, because it's ironic that everyone's like, everyone's entitled to their own vote. But if you vote wrong, then you're like worse than Hitler 10 times over. It's like, what? We're entitled to our own vote, but then if we have wrong think, then we're just worse than the worst person ever, because we just made a choice. And enough with the politics discussion. I'll end it either with exclamation point politics, or I'll end it by saying this. Politicians are like dirty diapers. They need to be changed early and often, and usually for the exact same reason. And I'm not the first one to coin that. I just like parroting it because, you know, it's pretty true. So just because you vote blue or red doesn't mean that person is great. It just means you voted for a liar, because all politicians are, you know, barely human. You know, I don't believe in lizard people, but goddamn do they have some snake tongues. The only lizard people I believe in are the ones that get slaughtered in D&D when I'm trying to use them as a hard challenge for my players. And it just turns into a cakewalk that's 3 hours long. So I did say you probably voted for Biden after you lost an argument, and he just responded, "I'm not American, and I would have just chosen emigration." Yeah. That's why we need to, like, get rid of the government, get rid of money, focus more on communal taking care of each other. And if you know, this to quote that movie, what is it, Q? You know, if people are sick, they deserve a little help. Can we just not have what we have and just take care of each other? Because very clearly, we only have a very little amount of time left before everything goes wrong. The only lizard I believe in is the lusty Argonian maid. That's the way to go. Roast is cooked and ready, so I'm going to lurk and eat. Have fun, and hello to Oliver. Yes. Enjoy the lurk, Mr. Necro. I'm sure by the time you come back, we'll be done talking about bullshit and just having fun with the video game. Yeah, let's have fun with the game. And I am having fun. Taking it real slow. Oh. I think my AI teammate's striking a pose. You are Bushman. In fact, what is it, F4? Yeah, that's Fury. Yeah, the problem with this location is it's kind of tucked into this hill. It's kind of hard to see in there. Alright, let's get in there. We're going to have to infiltrate, so I'm going to get this EMP ready. I miss the explosives expert perk. Because it lets you throw grenades so far. Like, ridiculously far. And I think it's just like, oh, 40% range. That's a big 40% on thrown items. Like, I can literally stand behind a rock and throw a bullet lure 50 yards away, and it still, like, bounces off the truck to alert the dude so I can pull them away and grab them for intel. I did that the other day when I was, just playing off stream on my main character.
Why are you here?
Why are you here?
Shit. What are you doing here? Oh. Oh, no. Oh. Oh, God.
I got a creeping feeling we're not alone. can happen.
This.
Ooh, nice.
I want to say it's this building.
They got one of us. Intruders in the area.
Thread the needle there. Uh-oh. Okay.
What are you doing here?
What are you doing here? Alright. Is it this? Okay.
Hey, this... You can't be here.
What the? All right, target in my sights.
Didn't realize that guy was right there because I wasn't looking. That's what I get for not looking. In fact, I'm gonna go right over here.
Shooting.
Okay, lost them. Now turn them down. I just need a visual, then I'll make them pay. Oh shit! Come on, give me a target.
Did I not shoot you in the chest?
We got one of ours down. It's
Just give it a few moments.